Hello and welcome to Inches and Cubes, your GTA Warhammer 40K podcast. As always, it's me, Point and Click Nick.
Me, Mr. Fist Paul Fowler.
Adam, the truest axe.
And special guest today,
Nick with no nickname.
Nick the Beard. Growlowitz.
Fine.
you're going to call him the Beard while I sit here with the beard. Yeah, I know the biggest beard gets the right of way, but come on. There's...
You can't argue with that.
I will.
You can try.
One pass with a lighter and that thing goes down.
It does.
So we have a very special episode for you today. More of an ad hoc kind of sit and talk, shoot the breeze.
It's like a full episode of Fun Time.
Full episode of Fun Time. We're going to be asking each other some questions, hopefully getting some non-cryptic, definitive answers.
Good.
These are really important questions too. Like, you guys listening, these have been burning in the back of your head for a long time, and you're going to love to listen to them. So sit back and enjoy this intro music. Yeah, so we're back for episode 27.
Thank you.
Because apparently I forgot the intro. So we got our special guest here. Nick, why don't you do what we
That was a
force
good
all of our
podcast.
guests
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
and give us a hobby resume.
Hobby
But first...
Oh,
Sorry, Adam.
Mike.
No, didn't get on the mic. So today I'm drinking Lion's Winter Ale again. I had this last week. I loved it so much. Something about caramel and vanilla. I don't care. I'm just going to drink it.
Yeah, it's so good.
yeah. In my glass right now, I've got a bunch of Elijah Craig bourbon because I wanted bourbon tonight.
You're allowed.
Yep.
Yeah, we're in Adam's studio. There's 4 of us in this cramped area.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say there's like 3 fingers in there.
In the bourbon
Yeah.
glass.
In the bourbon.
In the bourbon glass, yeah.
Well, if I'm pouring a drink, I'm going to pour a drink.
Yeah.
Like,
That's fair. Yeah.
I anytime someone's like, I'll have a shot of whiskey, I'm like, what? No. It comes in amounts. Like, it comes in, like, a glass.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways.
Hobby resume.
Yeah, hobby resume. I think maybe 3 years ago, picked this up. Thanks to a good friend who hobbied with his Crimson Fist all through high school. And he slowly convinced me that I needed to start into 40K. And hence, my Space Wolves were born. And sought you guys out, halfway through this year?
Yeah.
And just haven't looked back. It's been a great little ride. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You started, I think the first time we met was at the Terrain Day.
Yeah, I remember walking into Sword and Board, and I remember going downstairs and meeting Adam for the first time. And yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, you're like one of the first people to show up that day for train, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we just kind of hung out, and then just randomly people just started showing up, and we just got right into it, right?
Yeah. Put some what was it, spackle on that demon table?
Yeah.
We
It was great.
spackled the heck out of
Yeah,
that.
it was good. It was good.
So what armies do you play?
I just have a Space Wolf army right now. I'm really excited to start my second army, hopefully at the beginning of next year. But right now, I'm just focusing on that.
Nice.
What's the prospective second army?
I want to do. I think I want to do like a Renegade and Heretic army.
Nice.
I feel like I want to go guard with a knight, and then also some like chaos demons kind of on the side, just because I really like converting, and I feel like that's an army that you can convert.
Yeah, throw like a bunch of the Gene Stealer cult bits in. And
Yeah, Renegade Guard.
you
They're
got
not
yourself a
It's not the
stew.
best rules-wise, but they've always been one of my favorite
Yeah,
armies.
I feel
them and Krieg.
Yeah, I feel like that's the thing. At this point, it's not so much about competitive. Like, I'm hoping that the Space Wolves will really get a strong codex one of these days. But no, I just want a hobby.
I mean, seventh edition, they won LVO, didn't they?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think they did. So they haven't. They're not always like the short end of the stick. They're,
Yeah.
So I'm drinking, and my friend here is so gracious enough to bring this along, Mr. Nick the Big Beard. This one's
There you go.
We'll work on it.
I can deal with that.
this is from Bandit Brewery, it's a local place here in Toronto. This one in particular is called Farmed and Dangerous.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a good one.
So punny.
I get it.
It's a dry hopped saison. Pretty excited. So, yeah, Belgian style farmhouse ale. That is the only description. And the little logo, the dude looks like the Grinch, but a hop head.
Yeah, it's awesome.
you like Bandit?
I do like Bandit. Yeah, I think that it might fall within the top 5. Definitely not top 1, but top 5 in the city.
Really?
Yeah.
For like, I don't like the space, but I like their beer.
I like the space.
The space in the summer school. The last couple times I've been there, I just haven't been really impressed with the beers they've had. But craft breweries are like that. It's like, have these 4 beers, and you're like, I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's a proximity thing for me. I live pretty close to there, so I just have this affinity for it.
Yeah. I mean, like, have loyalty to your local, obviously.
Yeah, that's why I'm loyal to Henderson's. Although I think Bandit's probably closer.
I like Henderson's more.
Well, Indie Ale House is...
I'm over a Dale House.
Really?
Yeah, they went. They try too hard.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I just want a beer, man.
I guess like when you have enough variety, it's okay to have a place like that around because you know you can go there and you know you're going to get something fun and something different. But I actually had a rather shocking experience. I rave about this place all the time. Like the food's amazing.
What?
The Indie Ale House.
Oh, I do love it.
So,
but I just can't go drink beer there all the time.
Right. So the Rabbit of Kermanog,
I love that beer.
they changed the recipe, bro.
What?
I know. It was one of my favorites, and I went back the last time. And it was even better on tap because it was like less filtered and all that, like super opaque white beer. And they changed it, and it's not the same. It's horrible.
Well, it's craft beer. It's batchy.
Mm-hmm.
No. They were like, I was like, this is not the same, dude. What's going on? Like, did you bring me the wrong beer? And he's like, no, we changed the recipe, and everybody says they like it better. I'm like, this is horrible.
It's the new Coke.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So
this is what it's like.
we're gonna have some more craft breweries to review next week.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Warcraft breweries?
Warcraft breweries. Hobby Desk. Paul, what do you got?
I got nothing, dude. I have been plugging away at like actual work life stuff, trying to get like a lot of projects finished. But it looks like I'm gonna be able to get back to hobbying probably tomorrow night. So yeah, I'm gonna build that storm towel and like finish it off. Get it primed up if the weather's nice, or just come over here and prime it.
Yeah. I love you, Paul. Such a priming diva.
I don't care. I will not apologize. But yeah, and also I think I'm just gonna take like a couple of minutes and reorganize the hobby desk because it's gotten a bit hairy lately.
It can happen, man.
Yeah.
It catches up with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally hairy or stuff?
No, just stuff.
Because
Little-
that could happen with you.
With a beard.
Yeah. I am a fairly hair sweep man. But yeah, no, I just have been working and working on other projects. Silly old life got in the way this time.
Yeah.
How about you, Adam? It smells like fresh models in here.
Oh yes. So I've I'll just talk about my personal stuff because I actually have some significant progress on it. All of those Primaris Marines I was talking about building, I've made some great progress painting wise. So a squad of Intercessors, a squad of Hellblasters, and the limited edition Captain is my focus right now, and I still have to do my repulsor later. But I basically have the unit of Intercessors done, less the heads and the bases, just because the heads are black and the Marines are white, so I'm just doing them separate. And the Hellblasters are just missing some highlights, essentially.
Cool.
And so that's pretty exciting. Captain is just missing highlights as well. I'm just working on the white highlights for them at the moment. And then, bases and heads, and they're done. And I'm super excited about that.
So have you ever played a game with this army?
With
this army that you're bringing to this super tough tournament next weekend?
No.
Awesome.
I have a... Yeah, because I can't play with models that aren't painted.
That's fair.
It's a good rule.
So...
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. It's going to be... I haven't played 40K in over a month.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Since our little test day back in early October, so... Yeah, next Saturday we're doing our Sword and Board Open. That's going to be a rough one.
Yeah. I'm going to try and get a game in, I think, like Monday. Just book one, see who's around.
Yeah.
Because, I'm going to be starting an office job soon, so I gotta like, take advantage of my free afternoon. So, James, I'm calling you out.
Yeah, he should be free.
Yeah.
Nick?
Geez, yeah. I did quite a bit recently. So, in preparation for this tournament as well, got a couple Razorbacks that I'm almost done. Adam's been nice enough to let me...
Ask hands?
Yeah, some ask hands. Well, I mean, on one, I might put a las cannon on the other. We'll see. Someone posted about bringing, like, 4 dreads today in the Facebook post, and now I'm just like, do I need more las cannons?
One of them's a Leviathan, I guarantee it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm doing the same thing.
A
so-
Hellforged Leviathan.
Yeah.
Oh, get out. This is gonna be the meanest tournament.
Yeah.
Like,
it's gonna be gross.
oh yeah.
It's gonna be gross.
And that's somebody was gracious enough to comment on his post of I need to get 4 dreadnoughts done. That he already has a bunch of dreadnoughts
Yeah.
painted. It's like, oh no.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So one might be a assault cannon, one might be a las cannon. We'll see. Besides that, I've got a contemptor that I'm making into Bjorn. So before I did like the arm and the las cannon, but now I'm actually gonna make the rest of Bjorn. Kind of kit him out a bit.
Do you like the last cannon more than the Hellfrost cannon?
Yes, I think it's better. It's longer range. The Hellfrost cannon is it's 24 inches. It's on a 6 you get an extra mortal wound.
I have no idea.
It's basically
asking
like
you.
strength 8. It's fluffy.
Yeah.
I've seen some really cool conversions where people can do awesome Hellfrost cannons, but as a competitive weapon, no.
Yeah, that's fair.
Then what else do I have? I've got a couple priests. So I want to bring, if I can get all of my priests done, I want to bring like 3 priests to this army. Iron priest is converted up. I've got a rune priest that's like kind of floating and flying on an inceptor stand.
Oh, okay. That's a really cool idea.
Yeah, and then I've got a
Because Space Wolves don't use psychic powers.
they draw from Fenris.
Get
Yeah.
out.
From Fenris.
Get out.
Yeah, the power of Fenris.
It's just sorcery.
Yeah, that's cool. And then
It's rune magic.
it's rune magic. Yeah. Then I've got a wolf priest as well that I've done up kind of differently using I can't remember which Forge World model, but basically just all changed up.
Cool.
I mean, you show them to me, I'll tell you what model it is right now.
Is it Ivanus? It's the Asterian Moloch and Ivan. Like, who's the other guy with the Asterian Moloch?
Oh yeah,
He's got like a bone. It's supposed to be
the chaplain.
A chaplain. He's got like a bone Crozius, but instead I took the head off and made it into an axe.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's still got a power fist, which as a wolf priest doesn't really make sense, but real cool.
Yeah.
He's not going to use his power fist. It's just there. It's on his arm. Yeah.
You know what? I like modeling for coolness most times.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like my WYSIWYG, but
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have anything that's like not a wolf priest. It's just
yeah, and like I think game wise, the only issue is when it's not so bad to have characters modeled with equipment that they don't have. It's when they are modeled
Without the equipment.
right.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, does this guy with a power fist have that? No, he doesn't. Oh, does this guy with a chainsword have a power fist? Yes, he does. That's the bad one.
Yeah.
Was it the big, cool chainsword?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think as long as it's clear, right? It's unfair when it's not clear or when you're trying to use it to an advantage, and as long as it's clear.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So that's kind of it. But I'm really making this push.
Nicholas K, what do you got on the old hobby desk?
Slapping paint on the falchion.
Ugh,
Yeah.
no.
Are you bringing
Yeah. No, I can't.
No, you can't. It's above the 30.
40 power level. It's 777 points.
It one shots most everything.
Yes.
Like that's the thing.
It will one-shot anything short of a Reaver Titan.
Yes.
Including a Warhound Titan has Void Shields now. So yeah, anything short of a Warhound Titan. And it has killed a knight in one shot.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And he wonders why we complain about it.
You haven't faced Peaches yet.
I am not going to be happy about
You
Peaches.
just tore it up, eh?
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Peaches... I love that, like, Peaches went to Atlanta, too, right?
Peaches partied.
Well, Atlanta's famous for its peaches.
So yeah, just got a lot of base coats down on it. Last Friday I actually did a painting night with other Paul, because we're all white guys with the same first names.
Carvanis? Oh, you know.
With Paul Carvanis and Phil. Paul was working on some beautiful models for an Iron Sleet Invitational.
Yeah.
Holy
Sweet.
Irons. Oh, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, so he was building the bear that was being led by the Piper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was just hanging out with him when he was sculpting the bear, and like he was like knocking out. He was like doing up an Inquisitor, and he's just like, what do you think of that Aquila? I'm like, what?
Yeah,
How did you sculpt a shoulder pad Aquila in 5 minutes with green stuff in a silicone?
He does some magic with that.
Yeah, we were actually talking about doing like a narrative sort of thing. I'm not entirely sure what rule set, but I was like, man, if I can just get some of the shine off of your apple onto my models, I am into it.
Yeah.
That metaphor didn't entirely work, but I don't care.
So I had nothing to paint because I'm just going to run my normal list for next Saturday because I don't want to like run a new list that I've never played before.
That's what I'm doing as well.
So I just decided to slap some paint on the falchion, and I took Paul's advice and Adam's advice, and so now when I paint white and gold, I start with a nice brown.
Yeah.
And so it looks really ugly with the base colors because you just got this poo brown color all over it. And Paul's like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you painting things brown?" I'm like, "Oh, I used that before I put gold or white down." And then I was like, "Watch," and I'm like, "White, yeah, gold, yeah, perfect, looks good, simple."
Yeah, that's the thing. Like that saves a ton of work.
Yep.
You know,
it really does.
Like, don't work harder, work smarter.
So I'm really excited to get, because I've had that model for a year, and it's time to get them done. And you know, the thing I want the most is that Legionnaire tank commander who's got the arm on the cupola and the binoculars. And I'm just excited to get him painted and looking out the. He looks so small when you put him in the giant tank.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I've got some of those tank crew around. I should order another set because I love the.
Didn't we split it?
No,
we did.
No, we didn't.
Because we both ordered a tank crew.
Yeah. I want another one.
Because you got the guy who has the bare head,
and then
like
Mark III plate, and he's like got
cool.
this sweet mohawk.
Oh, he'd be super cool for Space Balls.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's just like one of the coolest
Is
sets.
that the guy you did for your lieutenant?
No, the lieutenant is a sculpted mohawk.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I love mohawks on Space Marines.
Why not?
Yeah, it's awesome. I want the haircut that looks crazy.
Yeah, so that's it for hobby.
Yeah. Games played? I haven't played any because stupid old life.
I played a game.
Oh!
Yep.
Huh, who would have thought that Adam had a game play?
Many of us.
So I recorded a game for the channel. You guys can watch this game on YouTube against Matt Schnarr,
Oh, nice.
who's just such
He's
a lovely
the
gentleman.
worst. I don't like Matt.
Schnarr is the nicest guy.
No way, guys. Matt Schnarr's a monster, and his soul is a plumbless depth.
Nice.
So I told him I was going to say all of these wonderful things about him on the YouTube, and I thought I was kidding. And just the opening, when I'd say like, "Hey, my name's Adam from Encounter Wargaming. Today we have," he's like, "Matt Schnarr." I'm like, "Who's the greatest person of all time?" And he's like, he just looks at me with this like kind of disappointed face, like, "Oh, you did it." Anyway, and it's so super cool game. He took a bunch of big Tyranid monsters just having fun.
Yeah.
Because he got his Harridan.
He ran the Harridan.
Yeah.
against-
Yeah, so he got the Harridan painted up by Chaz of Armies of Chaz, who's a great commission painter in our
looks good.
local area. So he finally got it finished. He was like, "I have to play with this," and he brought other models to be like, "But you know, if you don't want to play against this big crazy Forgeable Flyer, like that's okay. So I'll play with these instead." I was like, "No, of course we're playing with the giant crazy flyer," and we played the mission where there's 6 objectives and one of them's worth more points and one of them's worth less points. Scouring, that's it. And it was a good game for him to learn how to use that thing properly.
How did it do?
It flopped so hard. I don't want to spoil the battle report, but he basically charged it in the middle of my army first turn, and then
Well,
I don't think that's how you use it. It's a flying mobile transport.
it's not a transport. Or at least
No.
he didn't put anything in it.
You can drop gargoyles out of it.
Oh, really?
That's the flying thing, right?
the Harridan.
Yeah.
Harridan?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't do that.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool.
You can also deep strike gargoyles, so
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
silly, but anyway, it's cool.
Right.
But can you assault at a deep strike?
Yes.
48% of the time.
Damn it! Yes, 8th edition. Sorry. The last time I actually sat down and played a game was when I played 3 games before his heresy. So And I'm
Yeah.
currently planning an awesome campaign for Horus Heresy, so that's really stuck in my head right now.
No, that's
I
good.
know. I had to cut like 7 minutes of you talking about that from the last podcast.
Paul did you all a favor.
I mean, he's super
I'm
excited,
being censored.
and I can't wait for this campaign. Like, he's right; it's going to be cool. But
Yeah.
stay on topic.
Yeah. So, anyways, he had a bunch of other big monsters, zone thropes, and the other Forge World thing. He has 2 of them. What are they called? Big sidling towns on the front. They are on the ground with 2 big guns. Hyrule, that's the one. So he had one of those, which was actually it was super tough to take those guys down. And you can take 2 of those for the same points cost as the Harridan.
Yeah.
I don't know why you wouldn't do that every time.
Yeah, the higher doodles are just brutal.
Yeah. So they're just a big fluff monster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's super cool to fight one, and if you guys are excited to see one on the table, because like it's such a treat. Like people never play with those things. Then check out that battery up on the channel. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, he said he wanted to play a game with me, and I was like, I'll bring the Falchion. And he was like, okay, no.
The Falchion just...
I know.
It sucks to play against.
You've never played against it.
I played against it once in 30K. And I just kept assaulting it with Terminators, and it worked fine.
You killed it.
I did.
You won that game.
I did. Still hate it.
What are you complaining about?
I'm complaining about that model.
You ran a Typhon.
I did. And it one-shot at a hovering fire raptor.
Oh, God, that's right.
How about you, Nick? You got any games under your belt?
Yeah, I mean,
Nick G.
if we're gonna go back to that little
Nick the
terrain.
Beard.
Yeah, thank you. Space Wolf
The
Nick
big
is what you
beard.
guys have been calling
The
me so
big
far
beard.
on all the other podcasts.
Oh, Space Wolf Nick.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that should be your nickname.
I guess it's a little unoriginal, but okay. I'll take it. Yeah.
Space Wolf Nick.
Paul's
The
just
beard.
sulking over there because we're calling him
Yeah.
the beard.
I'm grown, not him.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, so I played Jay on the train cleanup day. My Space Wolves versus his Orcs. It's also on a battle report. We played an open war game where we had 3 waves. So you divide your army into 3, and then each turn a different wave of that can kind of come in from the sides, which was kind of neat. And then there was 3 objectives in each of our ends, and your objective was to burn all of the other players' objectives.
Oh yeah, I played that one. That's such a fun mission.
Yeah.
That combined with coming on in waves would be interesting.
It was cool. I went first, so the thing about coming on in waves is that you can't come on in the other person's deployment zone, and you can't come on within 9 inches of the other player's units, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
when I came on, I'm like, well, I'm just going to spread my guys out along the edge, so you have to come on in your deployment zone. Like, it's just easy to kind of game that system.
That's like venison level gamey.
Yeah, it's super gamey. It kind of just worked out that way, but it's still like we ended up playing into the 5th turn, and you can watch the battle report. Yeah, it was a great game. Jay had a great game. That was fun.
Nice.
Was he running orcs?
He was running his Orcs. Yeah, and I think that deployment definitely favored me over his Orcs. Although his Orcs did last longer because they could come onto the turn or onto the table turn 3 and not get like blasted off.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Did you struggle against your Landry Crusader?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think he took like a wound off, but again, because his stuff was coming on so late in the game, it wasn't doing much to him either.
Right.
But he couldn't do anything to it.
Right.
It was just ferrying my Terminators around the whole time.
Yeah. He had the same problem against me. Just not enough power claws.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what the answer for. There's got to be something that orcs can take that are good for that.
Yeah, get in combat with some kill cans or something like that.
I do like want to like scream at Simon though, because he's like the big squig. I'm like, like I understand that you don't know fluff. That is not a squig. That is a squig off. They are very different things. Like squigs are like tiny little bulb things with feet. Squigoths are basically Oliphants.
Yeah, they're dinosaurs.
Oliphants.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or the font dinosaur.
Dude, the Oliphants were just elephants. Peter Jackson made them.
That were 100 feet tall.
Not true.
I know.
Don't come at me.
It still only counts as one.
That was the worst.
You didn't like the relationship?
No, that was fine. Just the fact that gravity and physics didn't apply to Legolas.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, because he's light as a feather.
Yeah, I'm fine with him walking on top of snow. I'm not okay with him surfing down an elephant trunk.
What about him, like, what did he do in The Hobbit?
He ran up falling rocks, which also impossible.
Elves just have really light bones, right? Just have no
Bird
weight.
bones.
No weight.
Anyways, we don't need to. I don't need to be put down.
Relevant!
Yes.
You're going to have to edit yourself.
Shan't.
I see how this editing process works.
Anything else to wrap up for the first part?
Uh,
Games played?
no, I don't. Don't have any games played. Apparently, I talked way too much last episode. So,
It was a good recap, though. It was a good recap.
Yeah. I had fun at that thing. So, next weekend, the 25th, we're doing the Sword and Board Open. Come by, check it out. There's going to be fantastic armies on the table, fantastic tables, and join us for a beer afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And then our next event, I may as well just
Plug the event.
announce it now. Well, the next event after that will be our Lethal Lovers Lottery, which is our Valentine's Day themed doubles event.
Yeah.
Happening on February 17th.
Make them kiss.
Make them kiss. So this is our most popular event for Hogtown. We'll be opening it up soon, probably the week after the Sword and Board Open.
Yeah.
So this one fills up fast. We can do 24 spots. I think we're going to do 24 spots.
Yeah. Should we push ourselves? Like, should we try and do 30?
Dude, I can't do the math in my head that easily. How many tables is that? 30 divided by 4? You can't do that.
Can't do it. We'd have to do 28.
Right. Okay, so 28 or...
There's a magic. They want magic tables up, so I said we'd take 6 tables when I talked to them about the
That's
event.
still a good day.
Is it really want 30 nerds crammed into that basement?
Well, I'm just saying, it's
Yes.
so popular, right? Like, we want... Anyway, we can talk about it later.
Yeah.
Is it the same rule set as Lethal Lottery? Same kind of like structure and everything?
Same structure. We will come up with even more ridiculous missions. Don't worry.
Awesome.
Because that's what people seem to love.
Yeah.
And-
Also, we discussed it. We're going to like level it the prizes, so it's more like
There'll be a ton of prizes.
the top half and the bottom third. So if you're just like the middle bottom half, get out.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I basically, because it is such a fun tournament, we want to make sure that
Cool.
it's not really super competitive.
Yeah. No,
Am I running that one? Because I want to play in it. We'll talk.
You've run a lot.
Mike,
You've run a lot.
Mike's going to run it.
Oh, beauty.
Mike's going to run it. And then the final thing, in December, either the 2nd, 9th, or 16th, which is the Saturday, we're going to be... Well, I guess it depends when the Christmas presents from Santa arrive.
Oh.
We're going to be hosting a social event for members of Hogtown.
What does that little glug sound?
Oh, there's more bourbon, baby.
Yeah, hopefully we can do it at Henderson's and just run it a Saturday afternoon, and people can come by and pick up their Christmas presents
Nice.
and have a beer with us.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick little break and then get into the...
Oh, I thought we were done the podcast.
quick little break, and then we'll get into...
The perma fun time.
Yeah. Okay. That could have been better.
Battle Brothers Studios, a commission painting service passionate about making your miniatures and your gaming table look great. Our philosophy at Battle Brothers is this: your army is our army. Every model will be something you can be proud to show off. Send us a message on facebook.com/Battle Brothers Studios for a free quote and make that dream project come to life. We also have something special planned for the release of 8th edition of 40K. Right now, get 20% off if you commission us to paint an 8th edition starter set, or get a 10% off Army Bundle bonus for painting up your new 8th edition 40K Army. Inquire with us on Facebook for full details.
Hogtown, Hogtown, Hogtown!
Saturdays at Sword and Board!
Rock and Bloor!
It's behind the pizza.
Oh, yeah!
Idiots.
And we're back.
No, we're not. Oh, yeah, no, you hit it twice. Look at that.
We're passing around a head massager right now.
Yeah,
It's really good.
that thing that looks like a
whisk?
a whisk that's just got the bottom cut off and the tips of the spokes.
How do you think this is invented? A whisk?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think. Or like somebody that like
You want to hit?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
My partner really loves this.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
But point is, we the audio on this is going to be terrible. But we're back, like we said.
And we actually named this episode.
Yeah, this name is Frag, Marry, Kill, and we're
Do you guys know the game MASH?
Explain.
So I was bored, and I didn't want to watch TV because I had a headache. So Julie was like, "You ever played MASH when you were a kid?" And I was
Yes,
like,
you draw a little box and you write the
Oh,
you
yeah,
write
yeah,
MASH
yeah,
and you
yeah,
write yes.
"Yeah." So I played that with her on Tuesday night.
Wow.
Was it how many kids?
Yeah, how many kids? The car.
Like 4 girls you like.
Four
yeah,
girls
car.
you
yeah,
like.
Yeah, the car.
So funny to play this
Why is that in your mind that you had to interrupt Paul?
because he brought up Frag, Marry, Kill.
well, that's the name of the episode of the podcast that we're recording currently that
Yeah.
you're a host on.
That's okay. I'm doing my job.
Are you?
Like the region it's from, our all malt Muskoka craft lager is a getaway from the average. That's because it's carefully aged and handcrafted to be uniquely flavorful, yet remarkably easy drinking. Check your enjoy. I'm not going to read that. Okay.
Yeah, it's Muskoka. It's delicious. But as I was trying to explain,
It's delicious.
Oh my god! As I was trying to say before I was interrupted, we're doing Frag, Marry, Kill, where we just came with a bunch of fun time questions, and we're just gonna freeball this guy. And you know what? I think I would like to give the first one to Adam.
So I'll answer.
Ask
him one of my questions.
Yeah, ask
okay.
one of your questions.
So we each picked 2 questions, and so here we go. My first one, which I think is, I'm super excited about this, and I'm gonna modify it a little bit even right now, just to
Okay.
throw you guys off. Okay.
Mhm.
So if you could pick one Space Marine Legion
Chapter.
chapter, well,
Legion or
so
chapter?
let's say
Oh.
this is where I'm switching it. Legion, whether they're traitor or loyalist, in the current timeline, to switch sides. So, like, a loyalist would turn to chaos, or a traitor legion would reform in some way and come back to the Imperium.
Okay, so
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
so like a legion that
Can't say Alpha Legion.
yeah.
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one. I think.
Okay. So do you mean like turn to chaos
so
or rebel against the Imperium? Because that's a
What's
huge
the difference?
distinction. That's a huge distinction.
So I would say if Space Wolves would be an easy choice because
That's what I was
they
gonna
could
say.
easily turn to chaos, especially based on the 13th coming back, the Wolfen.
But they don't
Hopefully Russ doesn't come back as a Wolfen, but like the whole idea of they have been corrupted. I mean, Grimnar's axe is Khorne's, right?
Yeah, you stole it from a bloodthirster.
Yeah. So I mean, like there's precedent. There's precedent.
Okay.
Yeah, Space
Okay.
Wolf. That's a good
And you know
answer.
what? Honestly, as a Space Wolf player, I would be okay with that.
And I'll expand on that because not only do the Space Wolves have that kind of like innate savagery that kind of like tips them over the balance, but they've also never had a good relationship with the actual Imperium itself.
Right.
We talked about the Grey Knights, where the Space Wolves fought the Grey Knights to
Yeah.
protect the people of Armageddon, and currently in the fluff, actually I don't know what the hell's going on, the Dark Angels started attacking the Space Wolf planet over the Wolfen.
Yeah. Well, the Wolfen
Because
and
the changeling
Yes. Yeah.
involved.
And they decided to take out most of the planet. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I think either Space Wolves rebelling or completely turning to chaos.
I feel like it's not a rebellion. I think it's a turn to chaos. I feel like that would.
I think my original intention was like they legit turned to chaos.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I think.
I think I would want to see Ahriman take like a good chunk of the Thousand Suns and be like, listen, I understand that we're like delving into secrets untold that are like taboo or whatever, but I think like you throw in a radical inquisitor that kind of brings it back into the fold. That could be kind of cool.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Because I've never
Yeah.
felt like Armin went all the way to Tzeentch like
No.
Magnus did. Because Magnus and Armin don't get along.
No, and like Armand's been trying to fix stuff. Like that's why he accidentally turned the entire Legion into mummies, which
They're just dust.
yeah, just dust in armor. You
It's
know,
cool.
it's so cool. But I just think that like that would be a really cool continuation of that arc of like just trying to fix your Legion, because originally he was like trying to purge corruption out of the like flesh of his brothers, and then he just kept trying to do that. And
Well,
I
the
think
Thousand Sons didn't even know Magnus made his mistake.
Magnus
right?
did nothing wrong.
Magnus didn't do anything wrong, but Daddy got angry. Do as I say, not as I do. Borrow a phrase from my father.
My parents never did that one.
Yeah, my dad said that.
So yeah, no, that's a great one. I like that a lot because and it wouldn't be. I don't think they would turn back, but I think it would be more like
Yeah,
we're
like
gonna intercede on behalf of the Imperium.
or like just turn away from like the machinations of Tzeentch and chaos at large.
Yeah, because who knows if the rest of the legions would, even if there was like an imperial decree that was like we're accepting them back or whatever, like not all the legions.
There's
would.
precedent. There's legal precedent.
Yeah,
Mantis warriors and
Lamenters
and the Lamenters
and the
Yeah.
executioners.
and the execution. They
Okay,
turned to
there you
chaos,
go.
and
But they didn't turn to chaos, they rebelled. That entire conflict
That's
was
true.
about autonomy of Space Marines until it came out that Huron Blackheart had turned to chaos.
So you're saying that the Confederates? No, we're not going there.
That is not at all what I am saying.
It's about states' rights, right?
No.
What would you want?
My own question.
Yeah, yeah. What do you?
Okay.
No. What do you want? Like, what do you? If you were to pick one, who would it be?
Yeah, that's awesome. I actually didn't think I had to answer my question.
You have to answer.
You
that
totally
question.
have to.
Okay. Let's see. So I think so far we kind of have like usual suspects, like Dark Angels, kind of on the edge, right?
Oh, it would be great to see the Dark Angels throw their lot in with the Imperium.
Nice.
And Space Wolves, they're riding the line. I actually really like the Thousand Sun idea,
Yeah.
which is why I changed it last minute. So here you go. This is all me trying to buy time to let my brain work and see what
Well,
I come
like
up with.
the other, like just to hop in, the other one that I thought would be cool is a bunch of Iron Warriors that were just like, caught in the warp, and they just like pop out, and they're like, they've always been the workhorse of the Imperium in the like pre-heresy times. So just the idea of these guys being like, what, rebel? No, like we just get work done.
Yeah.
So
I mean, so like,
Yeah, I like that one too because the Iron Warriors were always. There are reasons for they followed Petravo. That's the only reason why. And it's because he had daddy issues. The rest of the Legion weren't particularly bad dudes. They were brutal, but no more or less brutal than the Fists.
and like by necessity, because it was just like, get it done.
hello.
It's done.
Nick G, what you got in that bottle?
Ooh, I got a nice 8 days a week single hop session IPA from Bandit.
Did they pay the Beatles for that copyright infringement?
I hope not. I hope not. Although the raccoons' haircuts are, they're good.
Is that Rocky Raccoon?
It might be Rocky Raccoon.
Hello.
Yeah.
4-part harmony, 8 days a week. Let's go.
Chant.
Rocky Raccoon.
Don't really like the Beatles.
Really?
They're the Justin Bieber of their day. I'm not a big fan.
Nonetheless, their 8 days are always a great little.
That's a take.
Well, they're at the same time as like Led Zeppelin and Ozzy Osbourne and like the punk in England and the whole like lots of different musicians going on and like that's what you call good music.
Yeah, but like I mean, if Bieber comes out with an album as good as Rubber Soul, I'll totally listen to that.
Yeah, but 50 years from now, people are going to be like, Justin Bieber's classic music. It's a bad example.
No.
No, I don't think so,
No.
because I don't know.
Sort of bring it back.
Not a lot of people are being like Bobby Darin's classic music. But anyways, more whiskey.
Bourbon.
Depends where it was made.
It's true.
I should crack it.
So I could take the opportunity to tell a little bit about my fluff for the Luna Wolves, because I actually think it would be really neat if... And I'll explain it first, and then I'll go with my...
We've explained
kinda
it.
semi-answer.
We've explained it on the podcast before.
Right, but we have new listeners sometimes.
I hope.
So the idea is that Gilliman decrees that the Luna Wolf chapter is to be remade. The Imperium, it's a dark Imperium, right? It's half like hope is like waning, right? And chaos is at their doorstep, and Gilliman's like,
He's ringing the bell.
we need to show that what has turned to darkness can be turned back to light, right? Or that like these were our roots, this is who we are, like something to that effect, right? And so let's remake the chapter as a beacon of hope for humanity. Anyway, so I think it'd be cool if the guys who like founded the Grey Knights, so like Nathaniel Garrow and I actually haven't confirmed this for myself if it's real or not, but apparently what's his face? This is why I'm horrible with names. The Luna Wolf captain that I play with, Garvio Loken.
Yeah.
If he didn't actually die, and he's also kind of ran with Garrow and became one of the knights that founded the Grey Knights and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because when Malcador is like assembling his like task force, he there's a line where it's like, I am looking for individuals of inquisitive natures. Where it's like, oh my god, like it's so prequely.
Yeah.
But I'll take it.
Yeah. So I think it'd be neat if it's like, apparently they like mind wipe all the Grey Knights and then they put them in the Grey Knights chapter or whatever. So it'd be neat if they like
Multiple times.
like, there you go. If they could like restore Loken's memories and then like and if something crazy would happen with that, or if like I don't know where the storyline with where I'm going with my legion's gonna be, if like Gilliman orders the remaking of the Luna Wolves and then they just turn again and it's just horrible and a complete disaster. And
Well, I
like
think
it, yeah.
I think what would be really cool if there were like and there's precedent for this in 40K, but you have like the synthesized memories of Loken, so like a download of his brain, and that's been installed in Captain.
right.
And so he's like, for all intents and purposes, he's Loken and thinks he's Loken, but he's not Loken.
Are you just your memories, Paul?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yep.
But how do I know that my memories aren't real? Because all I have are the memories of the last time I remembered stuff, not actual true things.
And every time you remember it, it
it
changes.
gets different. Yeah.
You have to like tattoo your body to give you reminders of like what you.
But this delves into like another cool
An awesome
level.
modeling idea.
That is about the heresy is a lot of Chaos Legions, and I think Luna Wolves especially, turned because of their Primarch, not because of their like the Death Guard, the Emperor's Children, and the World Eaters. They were going one way or the other, Primarch or not. But like Thousand Sons, Iron Warriors, and Sons of Horus, without their Primarch, I don't think there was anything about those legions that were bad.
They're followers
Yeah,
of their Primarch.
everyone's kind of like a follower of their Primarch, but I feel like some people just followed their Primarch into chaos, whereas the Emperor's Children, the entire legion would have gone with Fulgrim being like, "Guys, come back!"
And they're like, but there's like boobs on this snake.
Yeah. Yep.
So I don't think the Sons of Horus or the Luna Wolves like were
Yeah, they're redeemable.
definitely redeemable.
So there you go. There's my answer. I think we've hit this one a bunch. So
Yeah,
let's ask another question. Paul, why don't you ask one?
All right. Well, this one's one that one of our listeners has posed to me many times. Caleb, this is for you. What's your dream cast for a 40K movie? Let's keep it to like 3 or 5 actors, actresses. And because Adam doesn't know any pop culture references, please grade him on a curve.
I'm literally just gonna like pick the actors that I can remember the names of, and that's just it. Like I'm gonna try and creatively justify it.
Yeah. So like, You know, I don't know. I don't have the plot of my movie, but I know that I need to see Tilda Swinton as an Eldar.
Nice.
You know,
Yeah.
and like she would be like a Farseer, and what's his name, Hiddleston,
Yep.
Loki,
Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston. He's gonna be like her like assistant. So those are like the two that come to the top of my head right now.
The guy who plays Jaime Lannister,
Okay.
Nicolau.
Coster Baldover?
Yeah, I
God.
didn't look that up. I
I see
just
like the slick looking blonde haired dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The like most handsome man in the world.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
who was also in a show called New Amsterdam, which is a great cop show about a Dutch immigrant from the 1600s who wakes up in modern day New York.
It's very niche.
Very cool show.
Tell me more.
Because he's actually Dutch.
Yes.
He would make a great Lionel Johnson.
Ooh, he would.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, here we go. So I really like the Eisenhorn trilogy, and I think Patrick Stewart, if they could get him like a little bit more buff, would be a great Gregor Eisenhorn.
Ooh.
Okay.
And the chick from
I think for that though, young Patrick Stewart, because it is.
it'd have to be younger. He'd have to be younger.
Well, you do deal with like
How
young
young?
Eisenhorn.
How young?
Like you deal with Eisenhorn
When he has
like
hair.
him and
Whoa.
TNG. Him and TNG.
But I think
Yeah.
but I think like when you cast young Eisenhorn, you use Tom Hardy. Bane.
Ooh.
Yeah, and you go full Star Trek movie where he was the clone of Picard, raised by.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I really liked that movie.
Yeah.
Star Trek Nemesis.
I don't like that they didn't address that Data got fat.
Right?
But
Brent,
Build up of fluids.
yeah,
Brent Spiner's always been kind of a dick.
What?
No, he has. Like,
What?
There's been like, I've heard stories of him at like Comic Cons and stuff. Where
Yeah,
he's
he's-
just way too full of himself.
Oh, okay.
Like Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen are like high fiving people, and Brent Spiner's like, "Ugh."
I'm gonna
That's-
draw.
all right.
It's like
All right.
you had one role, and you were also in both Independence Days. Both Independence Days. So calm
Yeah.
down.
Okay, but this is a great digression that I'm happy we had. But you were saying something about a woman.
Yeah. Okay. So Bequin or Bequin, I don't know how you say her name. It's spelled Bequin. So however you say that. I think it would be cool to have the chick from Underworld, the lead.
Okay, Beckinsale.
Kate
Yeah.
Beckinsale. There you go. But with the black hair and everything, because she's like a psychic null, and I don't know. I just think her character would work really well with that.
Okay.
There might be some other perfect people, but
Oh yeah,
I'm working on limited.
Yeah, I know
inventory
you
here.
don't. I felt bad suggesting this one because like anytime I'm like this movie and you're like yeah no.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just thinking like Primarchs.
Primarchs? I'll take Primarchs.
Because I got Orlando Bloom's Fulgrim.
Oh yeah, he's fancy.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Fancy.
You would need someone like for Fulgrim. Oh, that's actually gonna be hard.
No, that's Orlando Bloom. Like somebody who's like, he wears tight jean power armor.
He does wear skinny jean power armor. Fulgrim. I mean, if you people are listening, please give us your top Primarch.
Yeah.
So
Captain.
what's the movie then? Are you trying to recreate like a particular point in time there?
Just like the Horus Heresy. Like,
Just
when they're all standing on the monument thing and watching the Legions march on
okay.
You know,
Armageddon.
so, like, early on.
Eleanor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you could get him in the right wig, Ralph Fiennes would be a really good Fulgrim.
Ralph Fiennes is really good at anybody.
Exactly.
Yeah, we going for skill or looks?
Both.
Looks.
Okay.
Listen, if you can play a convincing Nazi, you can play a convincing Fulgrim.
Fair. Yeah. All right.
Ken Watanabe as the Khan.
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
that?
He's the Japanese guy that's in every.
It's like Last Samurai. Like
Yep.
Yeah.
He's in Los
Okay.
Angeles.
He's in,
Yeah.
he's in all the.
Inception.
yeah. Right.
He's in Batman.
Nice.
Batman
I
Begins.
know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Christian Bale as the Night Haunter. Playing his Batman character.
No.
As the Night Haunter.
Oh, that would be good. But I like...
I'm Batman. I mean, the Night Hunter.
I don't know. I think I would also want Tilda Swinton for Night Hunter. Basically, I don't think there's a role that Tilda Swinton can't play. That's something that I hold in my heart.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Help! Who's that?
Have you seen Doctor Strange?
Mm,
Wait, she's not in that.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, have you seen Doctor Strange?
yeah, but I don't remember.
Did you watch Constantine?
No.
No, she was Gabriel in that.
Oh, she was.
Okay, one more.
Yeah.
One more, and we'll call it.
Oh man, like basically tons of good movies. Like, we have to talk about Kevin. She's the mom. No.
All right, that was our third one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Next.
So yeah, and then I think I just want to see John Cena as a Space Marine.
Just a regular old Joe Space.
Like Joe Space Marine.
Yeah.
Right.
As
Well, you
John
need the
Cena.
biggest, and
Yeah.
Not like a veteran sergeant.
No, just like a guy
he's
that.
he's Primarch. Have you ever heard him speak on like anti-racism and all
Yeah,
that
he's
stuff?
pretty cool.
Like he's a really cool guy.
Does that really constitute a Space Marine, though?
Oh,
a Primarch, yeah.
Some Primarch.
he's just a space marine with the potential, with
Yeah.
the future.
That's fair.
But do Space Marines really believe that stuff?
No, Space
They
Marines
believe what they're
like,
told, okay?
are basically like poster boys for eugenics.
Let's
so.
not get into that, for the love of God, please no. But yeah, no, okay, so John Cena as a Primarch, like, who is he?
Gilliman.
Gilliman? Cena?
No,
Oh, that
Petrolabo.
Yeah, but...
Like an angry,
yeah.
smoldery John Cena
He could do it.
with
but,
eyeshadow
but like,
and
yeah.
bald.
And he would make you feel like you would identify with him.
Yep.
Because Perturabo is like a pretty regular dude.
What about the Imperial Fist guy, Dorn?
Dorn? Oh,
No.
The Rock. He's
no.
bald.
No. Oh, well, you can...
Dorn
No,
isn't.
the guy. No, John Cena as him. No.
No, Dorn, you need like an older guy.
Because
Okay.
Dorn
Little
to
more
me
stoic,
isn't like
Yeah.
big and ripped. He's never described as that. Like Petrolabo is like a force, but Dorn is more like
Dorn, like, it's Daniel Day-Lewis. It's, I was a fortified man, like my father before me was a fortified man. Like, it's Daniel Day-Lewis. That's your...
he's not a skinny guy.
Yeah, well, you're gonna put him in power armor. CG could do amazing.
Yeah, they're also like 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, he's a good actor, but he can't add 2 feet to his height. So yeah, I think Daniel Day-Lewis is Dorn.
Yeah,
I mean, Lord of the Rings says we can do some pretty crazy things with
Yeah.
cameras, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
also with ice cubes and elastic bands.
What do they do with those?
I don't know.
Oh.
Okay, well,
Left field.
I think we've sort of dreamcasted that. But again, this is a great one. If you're listening and you got ideas, please comment or send them to us.
What's your movie? Fill the cast.
Yeah.
So we're gonna switch gears for a second. And go into the actual rule set as opposed to the fluff.
Okay.
So, what is one unit or character you would completely banish from the game?
So,
gotta get all
why do you want to banish them? Is this any reason? Is
Any
this
reason.
Personal preference?
Fluff, rules, personal preference.
Because you hate them.
Because you hate them.
I mean, my knee-jerk reaction is 30K Magnus. But I think he just needs some tweaks. 40K? What? What are you drinking there, Adam?
Henderson's best.
Yeah, it's the best.
I think that's how they describe it, right? It's
Yeah.
the best. It's the
Yeah.
best.
It's good.
We've covered this.
Yeah, run-of-the-mill IPA, but done really well.
So
Yeah.
good.
That's not an IPA.
No?
It's an amber ale.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not an IPA, but super good. It's a special. Isn't it an extra special bitter?
Yeah, it's
I don't
a
think
bitter.
so.
ESB?
It's an ESB.
It just says beer on it.
When I order it at the restaurants, it says ESB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was once at a bar in Fredericton, and there was a beer on the menu that was like best bitters.
Yeah.
And so I walked up. I was like, I'll take one of those, and it better be the best bitter I've ever had. And they poured it up, and I took a sip, and I looked at the bartender, and I was like, you got lucky. Just walked away.
So here it says, I finally found something. A refreshing take on a classic English ale that honors the past and looks to the future.
Yeah.
Which I actually really like English ales. But,
That
anyway.
doesn't confirm or deny anything we said.
Yeah, I'm convinced it's an amber ale. We'll find out on Saturday when we go, and yeah. Wow, what's this?
Yeah.
Okay, so we were talking
one
about...
unit you could banish.
Yeah.
So I said Magnus off the bat, but
Why?
Just because
That's legitimate. The rules as it stands, you can banish.
he makes you feel bad.
He drops down on the table and kills 2,000 points of stuff in one turn with 1 psychic power, and you're like, should not be possible.
Within 18 inches of him takes 2d6 strength d hits.
Yeah, you have to roll the right things, but
You have to roll 7 or more on 2d6.
Yeah,
And on average, you roll it.
yeah.
Right? It's 7.
So that's brutal. Again, he is the second most potent Psyker in the galaxy, but blah 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 blah. It sucks to play against him. Yeah. But I think it's for me, and I don't entirely know how they work in 8th edition, but it's those summoned in Gene Stealer cult units. Just that they can be outfitted with anything, and
That's just the rule for the army, though.
yeah.
So the entire Gene Stealer cult army.
Done.
Paul got touched by bad touch. Paul, I get it.
All right.
It's such a slow army to play against. It's a good army. It's a cool looking army, but it's just.
Sorry, go ahead, Nick.
No, I've got a scar like that from playing some horrors and some brims.
Oh,
I played Gwyn's army and played some horrors and some brims there, and that was just
pick one. Can't
well,
do both.
Well, it was horrors and it was horrors and it was brims, and I just didn't have that much fun with that because I put all of my shooting into it, which was stupid at the time. And I understand what they're doing.
Yeah.
I understand that there's ways you're supposed to deal with it, like don't put all your shooting into the horrors and brims.
You ever seen Fantasia?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that was what I was dreaming about afterwards.
Just Nick with an axe.
Just like,
cutting up brooms.
more brooms. Just please more brooms. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'd say that is what I would just like wipe off. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, or just the changeling, and then those are fine.
Yeah.
That's legitimate.
So Nick, what's your thing that you would unpublish?
In 7th edition, it was warp spiders, hands down.
Really?
I hated them.
Okay.
The fact that they could jump multiple times when you're shooting at them, I absolutely couldn't stand it. And then now, just from numerous beatings by Connor, it would be Mr. Valen Kahl himself, which is a Forge World special character who's 200 points and is effectively as good as Gilliman.
Yep. He's a chapter master and Tech Marine rolled in one.
Yeah. I charged him with the Demon Prince, and he took 1 wound, and the Demon Prince got killed. And you're like, what just happened? You're like, your guy... So this guy gives a 6-inch bubble of reroll all failed hits. He repairs vehicles. And he murdered Demon Prince in
What
101
are his saves?
2 up, 4 up.
Well, that's on you.
Yeah, that's on you, man.
Yeah.
That's just bad dice.
And
you can beat 4-ups.
And the Iron Hand Field of Pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
6
a
up.
4-up, 6-up.
Yeah. Can you then give the Warlord trait for another 6 up?
Yes.
No, you can't.
Did he do that? You can't stack them.
No,
You can stack them. You can totally
Yeah, they
stack
stack.
You
Yeah,
can
but
stack.
you can't give him a Warlord trait. His is set. Isn't it?
No.
It would almost have to be.
No, I don't think any Warlord traits are set.
I don't
Yeah, they
know.
are. They are for a lot of warlords, but maybe not for Forge World ones. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I hate him. Oh my god.
Valid. It's valid.
I honestly think he should be like at least 200, like for
Yeah.
200 points.
He should be
it's-
250 or 260.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see next weekend.
And that's from a rule standpoint. From a fluff standpoint, actually no. Let's go from an aesthetic standpoint. I hate Wolfen.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I hate
I agree
them so much.
So I've recently redone a squad of Wolfen, and I basically put them on cataphracti legs,
Okay.
and I took the Chaos Marauder heads and put them on them.
Yeah.
Because the heads suck, the legs suck. They look like they're chickens.
Yeah.
I want them completely different. They should be fast and powerful, but they shouldn't be chickens.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, they should be like hulking wolves, not
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
thin,
Chickens.
skinny wolves.
Like wolves are big animals.
Yeah.
Space
Also-
Marines are big animals.
Yeah.
Combine the two, holy cats.
Yeah, I think you guys were also talking about this, but can we also get rid of like Grimnar's sleigh? Because Santa Claus,
We can't
Not-
get rid of Grimnar's sleigh because James has the best conversion for Grimnar's sleigh, and that
well,
needs
can't
to
he just
stay.
have it and that be the only one?
Yes.
Like that's it. He took Grimnar's sleigh
Yeah.
and then we just don't have it anymore.
The orc stole it.
The orc stole it. Now it's like
No one's
Grimnar's
allowed
not on
to
a
use
sleigh.
it.
Now it's a flame-throwing thing pulled by boars.
I just, like, so many tech marines had to say, yeah, that's a cool idea.
No.
Yeah, let's
just-
get you a sleigh pulled by
Yeah.
wolves.
There was dark times for the Space Wolves about 2 years ago in Games Workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope that they, like, push them towards the, like,
The
30K.
Viking aesthetic,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
opposed to the
Yeah.
ice wolf.
Yeah.
Okay, we get it.
yeah,
Your
th-
planet.
that's not
your
a
planet.
thing.
You live on planet Hoth.
That
I
like
understand.
the thing is the aesthetic that they're like aping at now isn't a thing.
No, they're Vikings.
Not in
No,
not
no,
in
no.
40K.
I agree with you, but they should be Vikings.
I think
Correct.
I think that the precedent they're going to set is with Russ when they bring him back out, hopefully soon. But again, the idea is like,
Have we
yes, we talked about this.
No
on the podcast then?
You've
No one-
mentioned it at least.
Because I want them
Yes.
to. I want Russ to come back and his beard
Yes.
is gray.
Well,
He's got-
first off, he has no beard originally, so
Well,
he should have a beard.
he
now.
should have a
He
beard.
should totally have a beard.
He's got one. I want him to make him Odin.
He's
I-
Odin, yeah.
I don't want him to be a werewolf when he comes back.
No, no.
I want him to be like this like guy that sold parts of
Can he
his.
be a werebear?
No, still
Yeah,
not.
we're not
I
the
want.
space
I want
bears.
him to be a guy that like sold bits of his like being.
Yeah.
For like understanding and like
Yeah.
he's
Like, the Wolfen came back from the warp, changed.
right.
Rush should come back from the warp, hard. Like not changed, hard.
Yes.
Like, that's the difference.
Yeah, like you listen. You remember in Reboot when Enzo comes back and he's got one eye,
Yeah.
and he's got a big gun, and Sprite's hot. That's what I want.
Sorry to
fair.
riff on your thing, but that's I
No, no,
completely
that's-
agree with you.
that's
I
totally
completely
legit,
agree with you.
uh,
Adam.
I'd go back to 3rd edition.
The
whole thing.
unit.
Okay.
Just wipe it all.
Parents, just do one.
He's like,
keyword.
I don't like Tau.
Can I do a keyword?
Sure.
Super heavies.
Really?
There's no such thing as keywords.
I don't know. Just
Titanic.
Yeah. Titanic. There you go. Sure.
So you want to go back to
Spartan.
like when dreadnoughts are
Mastodon.
impressive
the
beasts.
biggest thing
yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
yeah. You know what?
That's legitimate.
Yeah.
I've said that before. That like the scale of 40K, it feels weird now.
There's nowhere left to go. Like you're just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's gonna get stupider,
Yeah.
and we're gonna have less and less infantry.
It's an arms race.
Which is not what 40K battles look like. You know, you have thousands, like tens upon thousands of troops, and you have a couple titans in the back there, but like, you know, we're playing with like 15 troops and then like a knight and a big tank and a thing or a demon primarch and a hell chicken and 3 predators and 1 character, and you're like, it's not a 40K game. Like that's not a 40K battle, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's legitimate. I agree with you there because I know like 30K especially. There's the Centurion mod, which
What's
people are starting to play, where no tanks of any sort and Walker. So you can take as many dreadnoughts as you want, but you have still to fit into the force organization chart. And Leviathans and Doritos are 0 to 1. So you're basically playing 30K at about 2,000 points, where you have to take massive amounts of infantry.
Yeah.
And you can't
There you
take
go.
transports.
I like the feeling of that.
Oh,
yeah. Because
So
your ranges are by putting like caps on either end of your range, your middle parts become more important, right? So like let's think about, our lower end are our guardsmen and our upper end are our super heavies. Then your Marines, which are supposed to be like good,
Yeah.
are not. So if you brought that lower end or that upper end down,
Yeah.
then your Marines become better and they become more like the fluff where they're,
They can do
they can do
anything.
more, right? Which is, I think, maybe what you're going for with that.
Yep.
That idea.
Yeah. But I think we picked on this one enough.
Yeah.
Can I throw one in here?
Yeah.
I like that
Please
question.
do.
I want to know if you guys think that Cypher is he good?
You stole Paul's.
But I'm gonna steal it.
I feel like you know what? If you're gonna steal a question, that's the one to
I'm
steal.
gonna steal it.
Oh, I think Cypher thinks he's a good guy because he's been like so in the fluff. it says every time Cypher was spotted, he's closer and closer and closer to Terra, until eventually Gilliman brings him to Terra, and Gilliman tries to lock him up after he tells him what his plan is. And you can't lock Cypher up. Like, it just doesn't work. Everyone's tried. And I think it's the fact that he's Trollface the character that is what gets me. Like, everyone's tried to, like, tried to lock him up and, like, stop him from what he's doing. And then, like, one of the theories is he's trying to kill the Emperor so the Emperor can be reborn. Or he's trying to kill the Emperor to sever the link between this world and the warp for the Emperor. So I think Cypher is a big picture guy. That's my theory. Where he's like, yeah, this is going to suck for, like, maybe billions and trillions of humans, but it's going to be good for the galaxy.
Well, it's like what the Eldar showed the Alpha Legion.
Yeah.
Or the Cabal showed the Alpha Legion, right? It's like, if Horus wins, Chaos loses. If Horus loses, Chaos wins. And you're like, what? But that's essentially what it came down to.
Yeah, and, like, I just the fact that, like, especially in the new model, his sword is impossible for him to wield. Like, it's too big for
He's
him.
never
No,
been
but
able,
no,
he's
but that's
never
the
been
whole
able to
idea,
use
right?
it.
It's,
Yeah,
he
he's
carries
never...
it for a reason.
Yeah, he's never, like, unsheathed it.
That's
right?
also a Satan phase blade.
No. Those were two different things.
Yeah,
That's
it's
not
not
anymore.
necessarily.
Yeah,
Let's put our star in the spotlight right
Yeah,
now.
we're looking at him right
There
now.
you go.
So that sword is as tall as he is, but
it hasn't stopped
Thoughts on what the sword is?
it's
It's the lion's sword.
The lions, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, general consensus.
I hope that they, like, take the hilt from this and, like, throw it on the 30K model. Like, that would
Ooh,
be
yeah.
That would be cool.
That would be something that would, like, blow people's minds.
It just confirms the rumor, right? It's like,
Yeah.
it is that. Yeah.
But, like, so he had a phase sword, phase knife, and in the fluff he tried to kill this, like, planetary governor, and the, like, the phase knife just is absorbed into the governor, and the governor turns into the deceiver. So it's like,
Damn it.
Yeah, it's like two trolls beating each other, and they're just like, shoot.
Yeah. Well, the concept of a weapon that is not wielded is, like, one throughout a lot of fantasy and, like, tropes and, like.
I mean, it's Aragorn's sword.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be reforged.
I also think the concept of good and evil is not really relevant in Warhammer universe.
No. I think that's one of the best parts about 40K. At least, like, coming in fairly recently. Imperium's not good.
Nope.
Imperium's not good.
The Imperium
And that's
is
awesome. That's awesome because people think that they're good, but they're not. Like, and it's great to play a bad guy or a person that it's just, I think that's one of the best parts about it.
It's like,
once you dig into it.
well, it's like the
we're good because we're humanity, so just go with it.
Yeah.
well, it's like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
D&D alignment
chart.
Because like to me, the Imperium is like lawful evil, which to me personally is the worst sort of evil because that's what I like. The whole like we need systems in place in order to enact our evil plans.
We've got structure. Everyone's going to follow this, otherwise you get lashes.
Yes. Well, executions will continue
until morale improves.
Well, I think parts of the Imperium are more lawful neutral, where it's like, we have these rules, and we follow these rules. And someone's like, these rules are bad. It's like, sure, but they're also the rules. Like,
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
They're definitely not good.
No.
Because, like, good, especially in D&D, is, like, doing the right thing. Like, you would never do anything that causes others to come to harm. That is, like...
that's chaotic good. Right? Chaotic good would be, I don't care what the law says, I care what is right. It's like morale, or moral. Like, it's moral good.
Yeah. But like, to good to me is, like, you may not take an action if it causes harm to others. To innocents, especially.
Right.
But then the lawful good is like, what is best for the entire group? So, like, what can we do that is good for us and perhaps not good for... It's good for the many, not good for the few.
Right. So
It's Spock.
Let's riff on this analogy. Cypher What's his D&D alignment?
I think he is straight up lawful good.
Really?
I think he's like this misunderstood paladin who's like, he's got this mission that he thinks is from on high, and he's like, I'm going to see this through.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
Dark
And
Angels,
I'm gonna do
yeah.
whatever I can.
Wow.
Like maybe I gotta burn a couple of worlds to do it.
But I think Dark Angels get a bad rap. They're kind of like a meme.
Yeah.
But like, if you play 30K, you play Horus Heresy, you find out that there are traitor elements to every Loyalist Legion,
Mm-hmm.
and there's Loyalist elements to every traitor Legion. And you can play those armies using Rights of War in 30K, and in the fluff, they all exist, including Ultramarines.
And like the Dark Angels are one of the few legions that had to deal with it in a visceral, painful way.
Yes.
Like,
And I don't even think the other side turned to chaos. They just were pissed off because they were left on their home planet for 5 years and ignored
Yeah.
because the lion got sulky. But yeah, I don't think the Dark Angels are evil, bad. They, like, in the Horus Heresy fluff, they did a lot of stuff against the War Master.
yeah, and well, in 40K, there's still a legion,
Yes.
right? So this is what makes me like apply the lawful good.
Yeah.
You can't see my scare quotes, because they're listening to a higher rule.
And Cypher is one of the few people who had access to that higher rule within the Dark Angels Legion, because they were very secretive with all their inner circles, and he was at the center of it all.
Yeah.
Because Cypher's not a person; it's a title.
It's an office, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's an office of a person who's supposed to carry on the traditions and of the Legion.
So,
Exactly.
Cypher is Dread Pirate Roberts?
Yes.
Yeah, you got it.
Huh.
I honestly, and that's a trope I love, like the title that keeps going on. But we talked about Cypher. I love Cypher. I've got like the old metal model. I'm gonna paint up. I think on some weekend. But I think we can move on from this. Nick, you got another one for us?
Yeah. So this again, I went from more of a gaming perspective because we got a lot of fluff stuff going on. So I figured it'd be cool to add one of these.
Yeah.
So what is? So we got the 7th edition, or 8th edition rulebook. It's 11 pages. It's not.
JK.
Yeah, if you really want to play a game, you need a lot more than that many pages. But if you could add like one rule or one like super heading to like a rule section, and adding a couple like sub rules to make this idea come out, what would you add to the game?
Fixed terrain.
What do you mean?
I would have 7th edition terrain and 8th edition.
Like,
Sort
like
of.
forests and ruins and-
Sorry, hold on. I need to really fix what I just said. That was a horrible statement.
I was like, that's awful.
So, we need, the way 8th edition terrain works, like the benefits that it gives, to work in a 7th edition way.
Right. So if
To
you're
actually get it.
Yeah, so if you're obscured by terrain, you get that addition to your cover save, not if you're in or part of your base is in.
Yeah, or even like part of your unit. I don't know. It's just really hard to get a cover save, and tanks basically never get it. Big things basically never get it, even though you could be hiding and you're like 90% obscured. Like you never get a cover save if it's
You're not all in. And
Yeah, so
not-
no,
if it's not like a ruin.
So
and
if I may,
Yeah.
if a unit is 25% obscured,
I still like 50 better than 25%.
if a unit is 50% obscured,
Yeah.
So subjective.
it
so
grants, it gets the benefit of cover.
Yes, but I still like that, like different types of cover
Forests,
give better
ruins,
benefits.
Oh,
Raiders.
So like, let's say a forest gives +1, whereas maybe like a fortified bunker gives +2.
Yep.
Yeah.
In City Fight, ruins give +2.
Yeah.
To infantry.
Have you
only, though.
played that?
Yeah, I got destroyed by orcs.
Did you
Fight-
enjoy the rules?
Yes, it was a lot of fun.
Like that's an 8th edition thing.
In
Yep.
City Fight,
What are
if
you
you're playing a City Fight mission,
It's like
Is that a mission?
Yeah, it's like an extended rule set.
guys, our
And-
listeners, Adam doesn't listen to our own podcast.
No, I do not. I do not.
So last week we discussed this, but yeah, no, City Fight is a battle zone in the 8th edition rulebook,
okay.
and the rule is if infantry is in a ruin, they get a 2+ to their cover, +2 to their armor save, which is awesome. I love it.
Yeah. So make it easier to get and varying the benefits. And stuff.
I agree.
I like that they give varied special rules, but the kind of as a template based on their products because they want to sell their products, and I understand that as a business.
But no Promethean pipes.
No.
It just like don't make terrain like too complicated, right? Like if you have special rules for all the different products that you sell as terrain, like I want to learn my army and then I want to put it on the board and kind of generally know how the terrain works, but I don't want to like on a 6 it explodes and does this and that and like
I like the simplicity. If a unit is 50% obscured by a piece of terrain, it gains the cover save bonus that piece of terrain gives.
Can I just go off on a slight tangent?
Please.
We don't do tangents on this podcast.
What other rule in 40K, I'm asking this not like facetiously, but like what other rule in 40K is subjective like 50% cover?
line of sight.
No, line of sight is absolute. If I can see from this thing, like you could literally take a laser.
Yeah, it's absolute according to you.
No,
not according to your opponent who thinks you can see him with your
Touche.
Yeah.
I believe it was pronounced touche.
But like, what else? Like the thing is like with 8th, they've gone to non-subjective. It's like it's black or white. It's 1 or 0. It's yes or no. So as soon as you start going to 50%, it's like no, it's 40%. I can't. Like, no one's going to do that, but it's the idea that they're going to absolutes, which I like. I think it makes a quicker game. I think it's more fun. However, I completely agree with you that we need more variation in terrain because that is a downfall.
I like terrain. I find terrain adds so much more to the game. And going back to 7th edition playing Heresy 2 weekends ago, there were times where the other person that I was shooting at did not have 25%. And I was just like, yeah, they got cover save.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Permissive.
It makes so much more sense, especially from an 8th edition perspective, where you're trying to get into the mindset of these are not static models.
Mm-hmm.
These are dynamic models that are being used. These are static models that are being used to represent dynamic dudes on a table. Tanks don't just stand in the open and go fire.
Yeah.
Right? They fire, then they retreat, and then they fire, and they go from a different position. Infantry, like your Space Marines, your captain's not standing on a rock pointing a plasma pistol holding his power fist by his side the entire game.
Right.
Yeah.
For 2 hours.
It's like, oh! If they start shooting at the buys is going to take cover.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. So I think it's important, and it's tough to do when you're like trying to break it down into a rule set.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
The 50% thing is, I agree with you, but at the same time, you need to be flexible in terms of making that work. But that's impossible to make flexible in the rule set.
Yeah, I agree.
But you need to be like the majority, or mostly.
Mm-hmm. Which is 50%.
I actually like
50
more than 50%.
No,
I liked 25 because
Yeah.
I think 25 was like
the bottom bit.
okay, sure, you're 25% obscured. That's great. You get
I do
get
agree
a
with that,
cover
right?
save.
Yeah. You're like, do you think it's reasonable? Which is
and especially with the way 8th edition works, like if you're firing bolters at a Rhino, if it has a 2-up save, you're not going to do any damage to it anyways. But if you're firing a las cannon, the difference between a 6 and a 5-up,
It's big.
It is big.
It is big.
Yeah,
It's
but
big.
but I think it's not big enough to
It's double.
worth. It is double.
Yeah.
That's fair.
if I may jump onto this rule set idea. So I love D&D. I love tabletop role playing games. I love the idea of customization of your army and your character in those games. I love the idea of persistence and playing to something. So something that I would suggest that we're doing in this tournament that's coming up, and ITC does it, is you get sub-objectives that you choose. So when you're playing a game, perhaps there's always, you roll for the game type, you roll for whatever, but there's always victory points that are of your own objective that you choose.
Right. And
So
I
it's-
think that's a great way to be able to add flavor to your army.
Yeah.
You could do that where it's like, oh, I've got a headhunter army and I kill
Yeah.
I kill HQs.
Yeah,
Like
and you're gonna get maybe 1 or 2 victory points. You're not gonna get enough to like sway the game, but you're gonna get enough to maybe like shift the game if it's close.
Yeah, like because if you can, at the same time, your opponent has some of these. So if you can deny your opponent and get yours, that's a cool way to like.
I like the idea of characterful like armies and people, and having something you can achieve. A goal.
Yeah, like kind of like a warlord trait.
Yep.
Like you have 6 objectives, and before the game you pick one, and at the end of the game, if you've achieved it, you get 2 victory points. And that could, like, I don't like Kingslayer, never liked it, and I don't like Linebreaker.
Why
But
not? Why not? Why not for both of those?
I just like they're 1 victory point at the end of the game. I don't find they add much as far as tactical go. But if you turn them into like a chosen objective, right? Like, for this mission, I choose Kingslayer,
Right.
or I choose Linebreaker.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
that's something my
like
army's
that
good.
idea.
I've got a fast army. I'm gonna get to your side.
Oh,
I've got
yeah.
an army that's gonna be able, like I've got a bunch of snipers. I'm gonna take out your
Dude, I have never gotten line breaker consistently. Because you know what I love? Gun lines.
Drop some guys in the back.
Yeah.
So I think Kingslayer came out of a response to War Machine that was like, if you kill the enemy caster, basically it's the same as enemy warlord, you win the game. They're like, that's a neat element, but in my opinion, War Machine is so stupid in that respect, because it's like, especially with the way War Machine works, like, I'm off by a millimeter, so I just lost the game.
I know you've gone on this rant
That's
before.
dumb. So I actually really like it, because then you get these really cinematic things happening where the 2 warlords are facing off against each other, like they finally meet in combat. It's the end scene of the movie, boss
But
fight.
I'm okay with things like you get victory points if your warlord kills the other warlord, but it's just like, hey, I killed your warlord with a mana core. Like,
Right.
this orbital bombardment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're dead.
yeah,
It's,
like,
it's the smart thing to do in an army, but
yeah, but like the Manticore crew weren't like, yeah, we killed that guy. It's like, those things that were moving are the
did we get it?
yeah. What was it?
Shut up! Load the missiles.
But all right. Well, I'll jump in with mine. I want to see character versus character combat be more nuanced.
Okay.
So the idea of weapon skill, I would love to see come back for character versus character.
Yes, you get my
that-
vote.
That's a great idea.
Like, because I get what they're trying to do, like
Yep. Simplify it.
simplify it. But when characters butt up against each other, it doesn't make sense that Gilliman's hitting on 2s and my chapter master's hitting on 2s.
No,
you know,
Or like Magnus and a Contemptor Dreadnought are both
or
hitting
hitting on
on
2s.
You're like,
Right.
And you're okay with the increased time that's gonna happen in a game to do that?
Because character and character battles don't happen that much anymore.
And like,
Unfortunately, I agree.
They
yeah.
really don't.
and I think that would be great because it would be a nice middle ground for me. Because I get it. It speeds things up so much.
You know what? They could just make it the same as the to wound chart.
Oh, you mean like it used to be?
Yes.
Yep.
But better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, like that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, like-
if I hit on 2s and you hit on 2s, now we both hit on 3s.
I'm double your weapon skill. I'm twice as good a fighter as you. I hit on 2s.
Yeah, if I hit on 2s and you hit on 4s, we do something different.
Consult the chart.
Yeah,
Consult the chart.
yeah. I'm just saying, like, I want to see that change. That's the one that I would do.
That's a
Character
great
versus
one.
character fights, and like character versus tons of infantry, keep it the same. Because like, who cares? Your character's gonna match stuff.
So I think it could just be army wide. I think everything could have a weapon skill stat. You just compare stats, just like strength and toughness.
Yeah.
I think that I like both of those. I would say that to maybe like even lead into that, is there a way you could incentivize in a game or make it so that they survive more and it happens, the character versus character? Like you said, it's like it doesn't happen that often. Well then, why are we making a rule for something that doesn't happen that often? Why are we making a niche case thing?
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
so, unless you make it somehow that character versus character is something that happens more often in the game, which cinematically awesome.
Well, I think then you would like. There's something that you add on top of Kingslayer, where it's like, not only did I kill your guy, my guy killed your guy.
We're getting back into like the challenge stuff, but
Right.
I
love
like
Maelstrom.
the challenge stuff.
What's the challenge stuff?
Oh,
challenge! Oh, I hated that stuff.
I like that.
I like the.
I like it in 30K a lot.
I like it in 30K because I just feed like a sergeant to Eidolon while Pollux is mashing goons.
Yeah.
Like, just-
But that's good. It's good tactics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's also very Imperial Fisty, where it's
Yeah.
like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
You deal with that guy who's really into honor. I'm going to kill bodies.
Yeah,
And
got
everyone's
stuff
like-
to do.
Yeah, and everyone's going to be like, that's so cool.
And I do love in the at the Horus Heresy event when I was playing the Iron Warriors player, I definitely goaded him into like taking the challenge
awesome.
for my Praetor.
It's
I'm
awesome.
like, come on, what are you gonna do? You just gonna sit there? You gonna sit there while my Praetor kills the entire squad and the Palatine Blades kill your Praetor? Step up. If I don't kill you, you're gonna kill me with your Thunder Hammer. Step up. And then I'm just like rolls a 6 for instant death and he fails his first save and I'm like, yes, victory.
See, that never works with me. That's the funny part. Where it's like, come on, do it. It's like, Sergeant, get this.
Yeah.
So,
I have my rule.
you have, so, I mean, I already said mine, but, I totally forgot what I was going to say.
I've said this before on the podcast, and I'm going to rejig it for this. But I think vehicles and monsters should have a rear armor weakness,
Yeah.
like if
Tactical.
if you're a vehicle or a monster, and you're being fired at from your rear, and we do the rear like the X's,
It's getting subjective, but still, yeah.
Yeah.
+1 to wound bonus
Yeah.
would be awesome. You're like, there's weak points.
Yeah. Or
And then, like, a Land Raider could be like, we don't have weak points.
yeah.
Well,
You don't get the
what
+1
about?
wound bonus.
I mean, I know this. I would hate to do this, but what if there was like literally on the back of your model, you just paint a thin white line, or there's a white line. If you can see that line, you can see the rear, and therefore you're getting that bonus.
I want it on the base.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to put anything on my base, but like
No, but I mean, like, you do it somehow.
we may do for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th,
Yeah.
7th, and Horus Heresy with the whole X thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't. It was never really a big deal figuring out facings. I've never had a huge
then-
problem with it. And a +1 to wound is not the same as
As-
front armor as armor 10 versus 14.
So I like the way he's doing it, where it's like, just take the very back of the model and then draw a line at a 180 degree angle and say, like, if you can see the.
I like the
back of
45.
that point.
Yeah.
It's just hard, and no one ever did that right. You're supposed to take, let's say it's a rhino.
Yeah.
You're supposed to take the very top left corner and the very bottom right corner, draw your line that way, so your front is actually really small because your
Well,
sides are really long.
The battle wagon's front armor arc was tiny.
Yeah, but
Itty bitty.
But people were still drawing it through the center, like
I
it's
know.
a legit,
No.
like 90-degree
No,
arc.
that just needs to be clarified.
Yeah.
The rule that needs to be clarified. All I'm saying is, I would love to see a bonus
Yeah.
for hitting
Yeah.
somebody in
Yeah.
the ass.
And
it's
the-
tactical, right? It means that you've done something.
I got around
to get
behind
that.
you.
And that's
Yeah.
you should be rewarded for that for
Yeah.
sure.
they have that in War Machine. It's actually really good. I like it.
Like, what's the
And
point?
it's tough to get there because sometimes you're like, if you leave their front arc, they get to hit you before you leave it and stuff. And
And like on the flip side, I'm so glad they did away with sponsons.
Oh,
Yes.
sponsons.
Yeah.
Like, I hated
Yeah.
sponsons so much.
Yeah.
But
But I would
what
love-
if you're shooting from like your tip that just doesn't have any guns on it?
Yeah, well,
That-
like, dude, you,
disembarking from there,
Yeah.
I'm jumping out my headlights.
like, just kind of shimmy.
Like,
Like,
yeah.
A,
I like-
a Lehman Russ gunner wouldn't be like, well, I'm not turning this vehicle so you can shoot both guns. He's like,
Not doing
dude,
it.
come on, turn it. He's like, I'm not doing
Not
it.
doing it.
Listen, I got a job, you got a job. You stick to our jobs.
I think the best explanation is what
I'm
you-
the
what you
gunner
said
and the
earlier.
driver.
Yeah,
I do both jobs.
Yeah, I'm all the jobs. I think the best explanation is what you said earlier. It's not a static model; it's a dynamic bubble of this is where the model is. It's like
Yeah.
an electron. This is where the bubble is in this general time. It's like somewhere around here, and it's doing this thing. And like, okay, it might be able to see you, it might not, but
Yeah.
like, it's dynamic. It's not static.
And they did make a
Wait,
point. in
so
the epic-
every model is its own superposition? Oh, God,
And
no, why'd you do this?
And they did make a point, and this is for you, Connor, but you can't draw line of sight from like a barrel. It has to be from the hull of the model.
Yeah.
So you can't like
interesting.
peek the last. You
Interesting.
can't peek the last cannon of a Predator out, or you can't be like, "Hey, the tip of my Lehman Russ Vanquisher is poking around the corner."
Is that in the rules? Do they make that distinction?
I might be crazy. I thought they did.
Yeah,
I guess I think it says everything's done from the hull, not from any point of the model.
Measurements to like the hull. If you don't have a base, I can see that. I don't think I've seen that elsewhere, but I'd be interested too.
And everything else is to the base.
Yeah.
Like the Fire Raptor in 40K, the Storm Raven, all measurements are done base to base, unless the model has a rule saying you measure to the hull.
Yeah. There was a...
That's weird.
Even from measurements that are normally from the hull from the Fire Raptor, you do from the base? Like, you can't measure from your gun tip on your...
Unless it's... well, that's a good question.
No. It says all measurements are done base to base.
I think it's... Let's not have this conversation.
Okay. Yeah. But all right, so what's the last? You know what?
There's this.
Yeah. So
the last one.
Necromunda's coming out. I'm really excited. Just want
This is our fun time. This is our fun time.
Yeah, barbershop. Look out.
Yeah. So it's on the same theme. We just decided 10 seconds ago that this was fun time.
Sure.
Necromunda's coming out. I'm really excited. How are you guys feeling about that? Before we get into what it actually is.
Never played it. Excited.
All right.
I want to play it.
I
All right.
played. I used to play Mordheim, and I like Mordheim. I'm looking forward to this. I think it might be my after Christmas project.
Yeah.
Depending on what gangs get released.
I know they're going to come out with an Arbites gang, and I'm going to play it.
Yeah, you are. You
Good.
Yeah.
You crypto fascist.
Somebody I know calls them Arbites.
Arbites?
Arbites.
Is it?
Anyway.
Not
Is it
Arbites,
Jack?
which are like
Arbites.
Arby's chicken nuggets. Arbites.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know though. Forge World just released that
The Beastman guy.
the Beastman, Beast Man.
You can take him in one mission or something? What's the
he just
limitation?
looks cool as heck.
Yeah,
He's got a cigar. He's a goat-headed man.
Yeah. Good reimagining of the original model.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm so excited. I remember the first time my Juve... These guys say Juvie or Juve?
I would say Juve.
It's Juve.
Yeah.
So the first time my Juve leveled up into a ganger, I was like, yes! And you get to roll on that skill chart, and you're like, come on, baby, my gang's getting better by the minute.
Yeah.
And you're putting gear on them, and you're switching the gear on your dudes, and...
This is why I'm excited for it. It's persistence. It's taking RPG elements and persisting them through, and your choices are through your army. It's awesome. Love
Get
it.
a 30K army ready for February, because that's what we're doing for our campaign in a day.
Working on it.
Dude, those guys would drop into 30K so easy.
Oh,
No,
easily.
I've been trying to consciously do it so it fits in both.
My man.
Just working on it.
Just send me a list of models you have, and I'll build you a 30K list.
Get out of here, Nick. I've seen your list. They make me sick. Also, will you please build me a list?
Sounds
Send me a list of models that you have.
accepted.
Seriously, I'll do it. I love doing it.
I may totally take you up on that. I just hate building competitive lists. I need someone else to do it for me. I can be like, it's Nick's fault. Anyway,
Trade you for commission painting services. No, I'm kidding.
Guys.
Commission list building services.
Yeah. Here we go. Here's the question. So we're sticking with the same theme. We're gonna ask a question, and it's gonna be fun, and we're each go around and we'll just answer. Would you rather be in the Imperial Guard or be in
The what?
The Astra Militarum.
The what?
You're the guard, son. You know the meme.
Or would you rather be in an Underhive gang?
Underhive gang.
I'm gonna say Underhive gang.
Wait, are we infantry in the guard? Or can we be an officer?
Everybody's infantry in the guard.
I'm
Does
just
it
saying,
matter?
You're
Does it
in
matter?
the Guard.
Am I in charge of people?
You're in the Guard, son. That's all you get.
Alright, I'm gonna choose Underhive Juve unless I can be in that cool regiment that we were talking about that hunted monsters. Because I totally want to fight kaiju.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, so our governor had a zoo, so we're really good at killing monsters.
There's something in the ellipsis that's you were asked not to talk about that, weren't you? So yeah, I'm either going to be with those guys that we covered, or if I can't pick them, I'm going to go straight Juve.
Okay.
I'm going to live in the Underhive, I'm going to do weird space drugs, I'm going to stab weird space mutants, and... Hopeful.
And actually, yeah. So that's on the paper. I forgot to say that specifically, but be an underhive Juve. So you're starting at the bottom rung.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
So, modern armies, only like 10 to 15% of soldiers in modern armies are actually frontline combatants.
Getting technical.
I want to
Nick,
take.
you're in the guard. You're in the. You're fighting battles.
I'm gonna be a food delivery guy.
No. Yeah, a food delivery guy that
Dude.
gets caught in the front line.
Yeah.
When the Tyranids storm the planet.
I got bad news. In the 41st millennium,
recap
there's
and glow sticks.
only war.
Recap and glow sticks.
Yeah, sure.
If that's
were they
what you
glow
want to
sticks?
fight Tyranids.
Low sticks.
Yes.
They were low sticks.
Yeah, that's the thing that, like, about the whole, like, only war. It's like, dude, there are so many giant hats in the Imperium that someone's got to be making giant hats.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but it's during war.
okay.
Yeah,
It's
still
the war
war guard.
hats.
It's the war hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I be a chef in the Imperial Guard? I feel like that would be awful too. I don't know.
I think
Yeah,
Colonel
chef on the
I'd like to
front
see the
lines.
model first. I'd like to see the
Yeah,
model
I
first.
think Colonel Schaefer's Last Chancers.
Gene Steeler sautés up real nice.
I think Colonel Schaefer's
Also,
last...
people do too.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah,
What
I
are you
think.
saying, Paul?
Well, Colonel Schaefer's Last Chancers like proved that even like the requisition officers were like, oh no, you go fight too,
Yeah.
because like brains. If you've ever Google,
I love
like,
those books.
oh man, well, Schaefer's Last Chancers, the models are great
Oh,
because
yeah.
they're all characters. Man, I would love to get my hands on those. If there's a listener out there that has those for sale, send me a message. Paul S. Fowler. But yeah, no, like I don't think that there is a guardsman that doesn't know how to shoot a last gun. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a cook, like Under Siege, or
Yeah, you're better.
Yes,
yeah.
I know that reference.
Thank you, Captain America.
I like Steven Seagal, right? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like him. On Dangerous Ground, that was a great movie.
Not a good thing to say right now, Adam.
Yeah, I got bad news.
timing. It's timing.
First
What-
of all,
what's going on
he's
with
in
him?
Russia and he won't leave. He's a Russian
Is
citizen.
he causing problems in real life?
He also
Yeah.
There's
okay.
a whole bunch.
But
of
it's
stuff.
you know
I
what?
haven't. Really? Is that
Yeah,
on the news?
Just Google it.
But you know
Y'all
what?
Google it.
It's totally okay to still like Steven
Yeah,
Seagal movies.
Yeah.
That's
On
legitimate.
Dangerous Ground is a great movie.
It was.
Under Siege? Great. Under Siege 2?
Not so great. Which one was on the aircraft carrier?
The first one. Under Siege.
Second one was on the like
Train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I remember the fingertips at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Yeah.
businessman.
Yeah.
Like, it's basically Steven Seagal versus the New York elite.
It's great.
I'm gonna go with Underhive Jude. I feel like there's more freedom.
Yep.
And like I said before the podcast started, less chance of just like getting hit by an artillery shell.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, sure, you don't see the sun, but as a guardsman, you're press-ganged into a ship that travels through hell to fight hell monsters on a world that's being invaded by hell. Like, good luck, my dude. At least as an Underhive Jew.
Or
like,
you just fight another Imperial Guard Legion.
who got the wrong mail. Like,
Well, maybe they should have better mailmen that aren't just trained to be warriors.
well, that's the thing. There shouldn't just be war. There should also be mail.
Mailmen as well.
Somebody's making food and boots.
It's true. But that's the
so-
mechanicum.
So here's just
They don't make boots.
make the Underhive a little more scary.
There's an STC for boots.
Yeah, because we're all picking Underhive right now.
Yeah, everybody's going for it.
Unless
So-
I get to kill giant monsters.
You get to fight them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get to kill them.
Still pretty cool.
So, if you are in the Underhive, you run the risk of the entire floor of your section decaying and dropping into the sump.
Yeah, that's par for the course.
Yeah. I mean, that's my apartment right now.
You risk
We live in Toronto.
being totally outlawed and having to live in the wastes.
Again, I feel like we might
Better?
be 6 months from that.
Anyways, like in our current day,
In
our
our
current
current
climate, yeah.
climate.
Yeah.
I'm already preparing for food riots.
Nice. Just find a train track and follow it north as far as you can. Anyways, random monsters just coming out of air ducts and eating you alive.
Yeah.
How big are the monsters?
Trench foot?
What's a trench foot?
Something you don't want.
Yeah.
With your boots in water for a long time.
So yes.
As a guardsman, I'm saying the bad things about being a guardsman. Trenchfoot.
Trenchfoot. Oh, okay. I thought that was the name of a monster. I was like, what?
Also, instead of monsters coming out of nowhere, a commissar comes out of nowhere, and you're like, is it gonna be me that gets shot?
Hey, boss, we're losing. Can I, leave?
Yeah.
No! Bang!
I gotta deliver these cookies.
Are you charging your lasgun power pack in the fire? Well, you see, sir, we're on a world of eternal darkness. That is illegal. Bam. I can't charge my power pack in the sun. No. You're dead.
Pop, pop.
Still under half.
Yep.
All right. There you go.
I feel like I also have a better chance of getting laid too.
I mean, probably.
Listen, until they release female guardsmen, and they should release female guardsmen, all you gotta do is throw in some lady heads into the Cadian box.
Yeah, don't make no boob armor.
No.
That's not how shit works. It's a bullet trap. Just right to the heart.
Yeah, just go get some Victorian miniatures. There's a place in California that does great female heads as well.
Those are great. I love those. I love the fact that in the Space Marine video game, the lieutenant that you're talking to is a lady, and no one makes a big deal of it. It's excellent. She's a good character, and Captain Titus is like, hey, you're a really good guardsman because this is crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Representation.
Yeah, we should be better at it.
Agreed.
It's another podcast.
I would love to do that one.
Yeah.
Just not us.
Yeah, underhive Juve for sure.
Yep, all day long.
And it's Juve.
Juve.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
So let's all get Necromunda, and
Yeah.
I agree. I think January is a good timeline to get people starting to build and paint their stuff, and then maybe
I want to see more
February.
games than just the two.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, some people got old models laying around. I gotta. It's not. It's a little bit converted. Vansar gang out of Space Marine Scouts, old metal ones.
I would like Vansars. I think that would be something I could mess with.
I'm excited to see the aesthetic direction they take that.
It looks so good. It fits in 40K, but it is something its own, which I really like.
Yeah.
And personally, what I am hoping for is those models to get mixed in with guards. Because, that's a cool veteran squad.
Okay, there you go. Just conversions in the future.
Yes.
Just make a guard unit, mix it around.
Oh, yeah. And, that's my thing every time I see, Games Workshop making a new release. I'm like, I want this in the hands of the Iron Sleets and, everybody else.
Yeah.
Big ups to my man, Iron Sleet.
Yeah.
I used to have a whole bunch of old metal Necromunda gangs, and I've traded them all off except for a Redemptionist gang that's still sitting in a baggie.
What?
Yeah. So anyway, just the crazy lunatics that have totally been outlawed because they're freaking crazy.
Because they set their heads on fire.
Yeah, they're just
Cool.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
This was a fun idea.
Yeah, this was a fun day.
I liked it.
I think we need more Frag, Marry, Kill questions for next time, right?
Yeah, I would love to do Frag, Marry, Kill.
It's a great fun time.
Send your Frag, Marry, Kill questions?
Yeah.
Yep.
If you've got Frag, Marry, Kill ideas, just throw them into the Hogtown 40K group, into the Encounter Wargaming group.
Yep. Put it on Okay, here. I'll give you the official way to communicate this. YouTube comments.
No one
on
listens to the podcast
on the YouTube video. Actually, between 50 and 100 people do a week. So
Really?
Yep. So YouTube comments or the Facebook post that we post this
Friday.
this episode on Friday.
Yeah.
Yep.
The 17th?
Yes.
Thanks, Paul.
Don't worry. I'll edit that. JK, I won't.
So are we done now?
Say goodnight, Nick.
Good night.
Like a monkey in a rocket on its way back home. Okay.